In this video, we'll hear from Margarita Zethelius from Colombia. She's representing CASA, which is the Council of Sustainable Settlements of the Americas. And CASA grew out of Ecovillage Network of the Americas and was kind of an outgrowth of this organization that originally included North America and Latin America. So now CASA is organized primarily through the main ecovillage networks in South America, and that would be in Central America, in Brazil, Mexico, Colombia, Chile, and Costa Rica. CASA is organized according to Sociocracy, which is based upon living systems theory, and it's a way of making decisions that's democratic but also somewhat decentralized in the sense of having circles of task-related issues that people work in together and then feed into larger circles. So you can see here that you have circles for each of the eco-village networks in the main countries, and then you have also it feeding into the larger circle of the Global Ecovillage Network. So here you see Sociocracy at work in CASA. So now we hear from Margarita.
My name is Margarita Zethelius. I'm from Colombia. I was born in this beautiful place full of natural diversity and cultural diversity. So I decided to study biology, and when I was studying biology I was traveling all around the country, getting to know these amazing places and starting to know the people who was been living there for several generations. So with a group of friends we start to worried about the situation of the biodiversity in Colombia, and we start to develop environmental education programs. When we were doing this, we also realized that a lot of these communities were in a path of development that was kind of mainstream development that was taking them to kind of destroy the diversity that they were living in. So we realized that we need to, or we want to help to think in a different way of us as human beings can develop and can evolve. So while we were working in our environmental the education programs, we started to get in contact with the eco-village movement, with permaculture, with transition towns, with peace communities, a lot of things that were happening all around the world with the same question of how we can live as human beings without destroying our world, our planet. That was maybe in 2000 we started doing permacultural training courses and working more and more with the communities, learning from there. So at the beginning we were thinking that we were teaching them something, and in fact it was very much that we were learning about what they think is life, how they build their communities, and we were sharing some tools. So it was a very interesting experience. So we created an NGO, it's called Colombian Hechos, and so I continue studying biology and also working with the NGO, having the wonderful opportunity to work with indigenous people, Afro-Colombian people, small farmers. Then at a certain point we start working also in urban areas, because in the urban environments is the places when we are asking more for the rural people now, and is where consumption is bigger. So we said, well, we need to work also in the urban areas. So we start with projects of urban agriculture. So how can cities be more sustainable itself and don't demand so much, and think about how the whole system was working in a permacultural way. The main methodology that we use is how we develop programs, how we develop projects that doesn't have an outcome that is a problem to another system, but is a resource. So in all of this journey we get in contact more and more with eco-villages. And in Colombia there was a growing movement of a network of eco-villages. So I get in contact with them and start supporting each other, just getting together in one beautiful event that it's called the Call of the Mountain. Is the gathering of eco-villages and intentional communities and traditional communities in Colombia. So since 2006 we start getting together at the beginning of the year, making this gathering, sharing. and from there the Renace was born there, and we start this idea of communicating more and getting more in touch with the things that were happening all around the world, but especially in Latin America. What was happening there, what were the movements, what were the communities there. So in 2012, I wasn't in Colombia, I was studying a master's degree in conservation and rural development in England, also starting to know more about what was going on in Europe, and part of my family comes from Europe, so I was also very willing to feel this land and how we can connect all this wisdom that comes from here, but also learn about the mistakes that we have taken in Europe about our development models. So in 2012 in Colombia, the gathering was very, very big, and we bring the Vision Council that was born in Mexico. There is also an amazing gathering. So we put together different kinds of gatherings of communities, and there CASA was born. CASA is the Council of Sustainable Settlements of the Americas, especially Latin America and Spanish-speaking countries, and Portuguese also, because Brazil is there, of course, with all the amazing work they're doing. So CASA was born as this network of experiences, of initiatives, as a way of knowing more each other and to help each other to develop the projects that we are working in. So, and CASA is connected also with GEN, that is the Global Ecovillage Network, and we are seeing also how we are dealing with very interesting subjects that are kind of the same between the countries in the south. So here in Switzerland, for example, where we are right now, we are making very interesting exchanges of information, of experiences between CASA, that is Latin America, and Africa and Oceania, and we have realized that these two-way processes around ecovillages that are like intentional communities, but also how we can bring grassroots communities, traditional communities, bring their wisdom to the things that in the intentional communities are happening, but also how these intentional communities, the technologies that have been developed around these intentional communities, can help also these grassroots communities and traditional communities and create a different way of seeing development and really have communities that bring opportunities for evolution as communities and human beings.